Let's build a TrueNAS file server, but not with enterprise hardware, which I really love, but with an old gaming PC. Hi, my name is Victor Bart and welcome to Retro Machines. This video is sponsored by my long-term sponsor PCBWay. If you want your circuit board designed, realized and printed, you should check out PCBWay. Starting prices as low as $5 for a 1 or 2 layer design. I'd like to invite you to join the PCBWay 6 project design contest. Submit your project and win great prizes. Place your order now, links in the description. It's Christmas time by PCBWay, so check out the special sales page for all the special end of the year deals. And a lot of people have still boxes laying around like this, a bit beaten up, parts are missing, and we are thinking, what can we do with the box? So I think many systems can be turned in very nice file servers. For example, this machine is perfect for it. And in a previous video I did already a whole overview. So I'm just gonna talk about why this is perfect for a file server. So this is a typical gaming PC from 10-11 years old. And there are parts missing, but that's how it goes. You have a system with a video card and a friend comes around. Hey, I need a video card and I have 100 euros. Oh yeah, take this one, and the video card is gone. And later you think, oh, I could make a really cool retro gaming machine out of it, but now I don't have a video card anymore. Also, you took out the storage and the SSDs and put it in other machines. So what do we have left? Just a random tower with a motherboard, CPU, memory, power supply. But what so cool is about this hardware that I have specifically here, yeah, let's start at the rear. We have video on board, so we don't have to put an extra video card that only uses power in this system to have some output. So that's a big advantage. And also we have a network card on board. It's in Realtek on this machine, so it's not the best, but still we have network and video on board. And that's all that we need for a basic file server. Because the file server that I'm building is not for high performance. It's just for a storage box that you put somewhere in your house and make backups to. Because in the recent years with the M.2 SSDs, a lot of things you can do better as local storage and then just back up to a server like this. So you don't really have to build a high performance server, because if you want to match the M.2 speeds, you are building a really expensive file server. So that's why we just make it more like an archival server. So if we look at the motherboard, we see a CPU with an Intel stock cooler, which is perfectly fine for a file server as long as it has good bearings and some cooling, because we don't overclock, it's not high performance, so it's fine. Under here is an i7 3077, not a K variant. Advantage of this CPU for server purposes is this supports better virtualization stuff. So if we want to have some VMs on our file server, probably the non-K version is better than the K that is overclockable. And the other really great advantage of this motherboard is we have 4 PCI slots and 3 of them are PCIe 16 in terms of connectors. But if you use 1 slot it's 16, if you use 2 slots it's 8/8, and if you use 3 slots it's 8/4/4. But still, with extra SAS controllers, extra network controllers, stuff like that, this is a perfect situation. Even a PCIe 1 slot for a network card or something simple. So we have a lot of expansion, and this is only an M-ATX motherboard. That makes it really cool. So it's a really compact motherboard. On here we have 6 SATA ports, 2 are SATA 600 and 4 are SATA 300, but for hard drives that is plenty. I would like to see more SATA ports on a motherboard, but 6 ports is like a bit of the standard, and I think today there are even less ports on motherboards. And if you need more ports, you can pick up like very cheap SAS controllers in IT modus, so they just pass through every command, so you don't need a RAID controller, just dump SAS controllers. And if you put this in, it would give you 4 more ports. Then we can run 10 hard drives. But I don't gonna run 10 hard drives in this machine because I don't have 10 hard drives for it laying around. And the power supply in this system is a Corsair TX 850. Total overkill. If you have like a 400 watt power supply, it will be enough. But one thing that is important with power supply is the amount of cables that you have. So let's see what kind of cables we have on this system. Here all the cables are attached, so that is easy, so you can't lose any cables. Because if you find a 10-year-old machine and they didn't put all the cables in, you are missing a lot of cables, and then you need to spend money to get them again, if you already can find them. So let's see what we have. So let's see what we have in terms of cables. Here we have an 8-pin CPU, and here's also an 8-pin CPU, and here a 24-pin CPU. Wait a minute, this power supply is a keeper, because I can run dual socket 2011 motherboards on this power supply. Maybe we can do some more builds with some more crazy hardware in normal cases using this power supply. Here we have 4 6+2 pin video card connectors, so we can run also nice SLI setups in this motherboard if we want to. And then we have 8 Molex connectors on 2 cables. And we also have 8 SATA power connectors on 2 cables, which is perfect because you can just run one to the hard drives and one to maybe extra hard drives that you put somewhere in the machine, and you don't have to work with splitters. And yeah, I like this power supply because it has the perfect cable configuration. And in terms of a computer case, it doesn't really matter what you have as long as all your parts fit in it and it has some cooling. This case has a fan in front of the hard drives, so that's perfect. And it has a rear outtake fan and a top outtake fan. And I would probably just not use the top outtake fan and only use the rear outtake fan and the front intake, and then it's probably enough cooling. But have some cooling, have some airflow, and have some cooling over your hard drives. That's really important. It has toolless trays to install hard drives, which makes it really easy, so you don't have to find the special screws, because a lot of cases have special screws and after 10 years you lost everything. But in this case it's just all included. So toolless hard drives, all the cables are attached, all the things are in, and now comes the biggest thing about this machine what I like. And I picked this up somewhere random on the street, someone was throwing it out, and the nice thing is the memory kit. And that's why I was thinking, let's make this into a ZFS server, because it has a lot of memory. It has 4 sticks of Corsair Vengeance memory, and each stick is 8 GB each. DDR3 PC1600, and this is the maximum of this platform, of this motherboard. So we have the perfect memory, CPU and expansion on the motherboard configuration to make a budget file server. Because a lot of people have machines like this just laying around doing nothing. Okay, you don't probably have so much memory. This kit is probably still expensive, but maybe if you have a DDR4 platform, it's already much cheaper, the memory. And ZFS really likes a lot of memory. They have like the rule, if you have 1 TB of storage, you need 1 GB of memory. But in this machine I don't gonna put that much storage. But for my main file server I just opted to go 128 GB because DDR3 server memory is pretty cheap, so I just filled it up. So for storage we're gonna use hard drives, and this is a set of 4 1 TB hard drives, so not that big. I used them as my video editing drive back in the days on an array controller. They worked really well, super fast single platter hard drives. It doesn't matter if you use 5400 RPM or 7200 RPM drives. It's just for archival storage and backups, and the drives in the normal throughput are fast enough to saturate a lot of network connections. Just get some hard drives, and I will put some Amazon affiliated links if you want to buy hard drives, that you can buy them there and support my channel. And because they are toolless, it's so easy to install them. Just put them in. I said easy, but you still need to bend open the racks. Oh, and the pin is here falling out. And the pin fell on the ground. Yeah, toolless is super easy. Okay, I found the pin back, and I found Elmo back, so he can stay in the video for a while. So nice, we now have a whopping 4 TB of storage. This is totally overkill. This Corsair case really sucks because, look, the cables here are sticking outside of the case, so I can't close the side panel without bending the cables and cause problems. So if you want to have a great case, go to Fractal Design. They just make better cases for storage like this, because the cases are wider. A lot of times you can move the drive case around to make room that you want, but this one just sucks, and I probably don't gonna close the side cover because it will only cause issues and bent cables. So the machine is built, the hard drives are installed. It's a complete mess with the cable spaghetti here, but yeah, that's when you have power supplies with all the cables attached. TrueNAS nowadays advises for an SSD as a boot device, but I'm still gonna try to put it on this beautiful USB stick. I think it's 16 GB. It's terrible design. I got it from Asus. Yeah. Let's try to install it on a USB stick, because on a machine like this, SATA ports are limited. Also, most times PCI slots are a bit limited, so you are limited. So why do you want to waste a SATA port to get an SSD? We still want to have the simple USB storage option, because we have plenty of USB in a machine like this, and SATA ports are limited. But I get it why they make it, because TrueNAS all goes to enterprise development and stuff like that. But still, USB sticks are fine for a machine like this, in my opinion. So you need one stick for booting, or the SSD of course, and one simple 2 GB stick or something small to install it. Okay, this is the most terrible USB stick ever if you use it as a file server. Can we do something about that? Let's see if we can get the USB stick part of this stupid metal thing. Okay, that was easy. Now we have a very sturdy metal USB stick without like 100 grams hanging off it. Maybe I should use this as a fishing weight or a lure. Okay, so we now have a small USB stick. Okay, it already boots from the USB stick, but I want to check in the BIOS how the hard drives are detected. Okay, 4 hard drives are detected. Okay, TrueNAS is booting. Boot the TrueNAS installer. Install upgrade. Select one or more drives where TrueNAS should be installed. Okay, you can also of course install it on a hard drive. And I'm not sure if you can make a ZFS array and then install it on top of it. But here we're gonna select the generic flash drive 15 GB. Warning, this will erase all the data, that's fine. Note, installing on SATA, SAS or NVMe flash media is recommended. USB flash sticks are discouraged. Proceed, yes. Because I think they write a lot to a USB stick and the USB sticks are not made to handle that, and that's why they like that you put it on flash media. Password. QWERTY op. QWERTY op. My choices of USB sticks are questionable because I took the slowest sticks I could find. This will take forever. The system is booted up, but it took a long time and it failed to run the middleware call daemon not running, and I tried to Google it and I didn't get an exact answer, but let's see if we can log in. This is not logging in, this is doing something else. PCBWay has shared open source projects. Go to the tab Shared Projects to see all the user projects that are shared. Select a category and find something you like. For example, check out this project. BlueSCSI 1.1 50 pin. BlueSCSI is an open, cheap and easy to use SD SCSI solution for vintage computers. PCBWay makes the PCB for this project and you get a component list and a written description. So if you want to make this project, go to the link in the description. Okay, it logged in. But normally I think you should get like a simple interface. So something is wrong. I'm trying to log into TrueNAS over the web interface, but it is not loading and it is super slow, so something is wrong and I don't like troubleshooting videos. I think the USB stick was really shitty, because now I put an 120 GB SanDisk in, USB 3.0, and it's way faster. The system is running now without problems, and the problem was this 3B USB stick from an Expo. It's just terrible and not usable. Now it runs smoothly, and I also put the Intel network card in it to see what it was, but probably it was just a USB stick. Let's log into the web interface. The password you just used was found in a data breach. Okay, we have 32 GB memory available. It's a 4-core CPU with 8 threads. This is a nice interface. Let's go to storage and then disks. And now you see the 4 hard drives that we have. Then we go to pools, add, create pool. And then we can click suggest layout. And then it adds 4 drives in a RAID set 2. Then you have 2 drives that can fail, but I think that's a bit overdone with only 4 drives, and we have 2 TB usable space. So you can better make a RAID set 1 if you have like 3 or 4 drives, and if you have 6 or more drives, RAID set 2 is the way to go. So reset layout. So first name data. Then select all the drives, click the arrow, click to this side, and then here we can select stripe, mirror, RAID set or RAID set 2. Let's select RAID set, and then we click create. So we made the pool data. It's 3 TB because with 4 1 TB drives you lose 1 TB when using RAID set 1. The next step after making a pool is making a share, and that's super simple. You can make Apple shares, iSCSI, NFS, WebDev, but let's make a Windows share, an SMB share. Click on add, and then click open the path, data, and then you can click submit or go to the advanced options, which is always good to do. Let's allow guest access so we don't have to make users right now, and you have more options that you can choose. So let's submit, and then the data is shared, and if we go to the network we see TrueNAS and the data set that is shared. And you can run plugins like Plex, make jails, virtual machines, use shell access. There are so many options in TrueNAS, but that is not the point of this video. So yeah, let's not dive too deep into it. As you can see, it's super easy to set up a TrueNAS server with the help of Elmo, of course, because you just need a 4-core CPU, something DDR3, DDR4, 16, 32 or even more memory, some random hard drives, a network connection, some PCIe slots if you want to have some expansion, for an extra SATA or SAS controller, and a case and a power supply and some cooling, and yeah, oh yeah, and an SSD of course if you want to run TrueNAS off or set up some caching. And I think most people have the parts just laying around, so get some random parts together, try it out, play with it and see if you like it and if it performs well enough for your situation. And you can just try it out with like a 500 gigabyte hard drives or 1 or 2 terabyte hard drives to just get a feeling for it. And if it's something that you like, and then you can invest in some hard drives for your real storage. But a box like this is super easy to make, super fun and super useful, because you can have one box, put all the drives in, and then remove all the hard drives from all your systems in your house and only run SSDs in your system for booting, and just take off the main storage to the file server or the backups. And the other thing about ZFS is it's super powerful. When everything breaks on the motherboard, which can happen because it's old hardware, you can take out the hard drives, put it in a random other system, install TrueNAS again, import the data set, and you still have all your data. As long as you have enough hard drives to rebuild the array. So yeah, ZFS is just amazing. The only disadvantage what people say about ZFS is that, okay, I have now 4 hard drives. If I want to add a 5th hard drive, you cannot just add a 5th hard drive and have 1 terabyte more storage in my situation. But what you could do is put 4 more 1 terabytes in and then connect that all to the big array. So there are some possibilities, but it's way too advanced. So if you like to support me, you can support me monthly on Patreon and get access to my awesome Discord server, or use my Amazon affiliated links. And thanks for watching.